Dobre din, comrades of the Union and our socialist allies abroad. This is Radio Moscow bringing you frontline truth and revolutionary clarity from the heart of the USSR. Tonight's top story. The Red Thunder strikes again on the Eastern Front. In a glorious display of Soviet might, our Red Army has delivered a crushing blow to the fastest enemy, near Kursk. In what is already being hailed as one of the largest tank battles in history, our T-34s rolled forth in perfect formation, fueled by the unbreakable will of the Soviet people. Fresh troops from the Urals and the Volga have joined veterans of Stalingrad in pushing back Hitler's forces. The fastest invader believed he could break our defenses. Instead, he has broken upon them. Soviet resistance remains unshaken, and the offensive now turns in our favor. For more information on the victory and the strategy that led us here, we now go to our correspondent with a special interview from the front.
And now, comrades, we are honored to speak with none other than Marshal Georgy Zhukov, hero of the Soviet Union and the mastermind behind many of our recent victories. Marshal Zhukov, thank you for joining us from the command center outside Kursk.
Good day to all Soviet citizens and defenders of socialism. I speak to you with pride. The Red Army has once again demonstrated that no matter what the odds, no matter the enemy, the will of the Soviet people cannot be broken. Our soldiers fight not just for the land, but for the future of mankind, for socialism, for peace, and for our comrades yet to be born.
Marshal, what do you believe has been the key to our successes on the front?
Discipline, unity, and above all, the iron spirit of our people. While the fascists rely on cruelty and fear, we draw strength from the love of our homeland, from the leadership of Comrade Stalin, and from the righteousness of our cause. Each rifle fired by a Soviet soldier carries not just a bullet, but the will of an entire nation.
And what message would you send to the citizens listening now from Leningrad to Vladivostok?
Remain steadfast. Continue your work in the factories, the fields, the schools. Every bullet, every loaf of bread, every word of encouragement. It fuels our fight. Victory will be ours, comrades. The Red Star will shine over Europe.
Alright, so let's talk about the first poster. The poster is titled For the Motherland, for Stalin by Boris Bogachev. And right off the bat, the vibe is super intense and patriotic. The title itself is a rallying cry. It immediately throws you into the mindset of a Soviet soldier during the war, especially on the Eastern Front. It's not just about fighting a war, it's about fighting for our country and for Stalin, who at the time was at the face of our power. Now, the colors are super bold, mainly red and beige. Red is of course associated with the Soviet Union and communism, but it also signals blood, sacrifice, and revolution. So overall, the poster does a solid job of mixing personal storytelling with intense historical and political messaging. It is bold, dramatic, and very Soviet in tone. Next up is this map of the Eastern Front from 1943 to 1944. This was a turning point in the war for the Soviets. After being pushed back hard by Germany early in the war, this map shows how the Red Army started pushing back big time. You can see all the colored lines showing their advances west through Ukraine, Belarus, the Baltics, all the way towards Poland and eventually into Germany. This wasn't just a normal military push, it was a comeback. The Soviet Union was literally fighting to take back our own land that had been invaded, and now we were moving into enemy territory. Next is this really famous photo. Maybe you've even seen it. It's of a Soviet soldier raising the USSR flag over the Reichstag building in Berlin. This was in May 1945, basically the end of the war in Europe. It's a powerful image. After years of brutal fighting and insane losses, this moment symbolized victory. The Soviet Union lost somewhere between 8.7 and 10.7 million soldiers. That's more than any other country. Germany, for example, lost about 5.5 million. So even though the Soviets came out as one of the winners of the war, they paid a huge price. Behind every advance on that map and behind the flag in that photo were millions of lives lost. So from the Soviet perspective, World War II was a nightmare. It was about defending our country, losing millions, and then finally fighting back and winning, but at a crazy cost. That's what makes our experience so intense and different from how we usually hear about the war. Thank you.
That will be the end of today's broadcast. Remember, We do not fight for conquest, we fight for survival, for justice, and for the generations yet to come. Long live the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics.